Hey, what is going on, guys? This is your boy Tropical Habs back here today for a brand new video, man. That was honestly, it wasn't that bad. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I've seen way worse from the Canadians this year, so it wasn't that bad. At first, in the first years, it was the worst thing I've ever watched. But for the rest of the game, it wasn't that bad. Like it sucked, but it was not that bad. So yeah. Today we're going to be reviewing the game of tonight between the Montreal Canadiens and the Seattle Kraken. But before getting into the video, I invite you guys to leave a like and subscribe. We've been lacking on subscribers and likes recently. 65% of people watching the videos are not subscribed. So if you could subscribe and turn on post notification, that would be amazing. Let's try and get 50 likes on this video. That would be awesome also. So yeah, Canadiens lose 5-0 to the Seattle Kraken at the Bell Center, wearing the reverse retro again. Yeah, they keep on losing with that jersey, but it's not because of the jersey. It's simply because they are not a good team. They have good players. They have good rookies. They have good prospects, but overall, in what they're doing, they're not a great team. And yeah, they got absolutely dominated in that first period. That was really hard to watch. I think at some point the Kraken had more goals than we had shot on net. So when this happens, it's definitely not ideal. Like probably one of the worst things that can happen to a team in the NHL for a start of a game. But yeah, there are some positive points about tonight's games, and I'm going to be talking about it because I'm trying to be positive. I've been negative over the last couple of weeks. Let's try and be positive. We're getting closer to Connor Bedard with that loss tonight. We're getting close to the bottom of the league. We're now 27th in the NHL. We're 3 points in front of the San Jose Sharks. 3 points in front of the Arizona Coyotes. So yeah, we're still way above Anaheim, Columbus, and Chicago, but we might get there really soon. Jake Allen is injured. We have a lot of injuries. And yeah, Chris Weidman got kicked out. It's the third time in a month that some Habs player gets kicked out because they talk too much. I've not seen that for another team the entire season, so it's pretty weird. I don't know what he said, but he got kicked out. At first, I thought it was Joel Armia, but yeah, the calls tonight were a bit one-sided. There were a lot of penalties that weren't called on the Seattle Kraken, and they were calling everything on the Habs. Wouldn't have changed anything of the result of the game. The Canadiens would have still lost, but Kovacevic got the same cross-check that Armia did, and there were no penalties. So it's kind of weird how inconsistent the referees are, but I guess it's a part of the game. Yeah. Other thing that's positive is the way Juraj Slafkovsky played tonight. He got a lot of ice time. He got 15 minutes of ice time tonight. It's one of his highest time on ice this season, 15 minutes. He got a lot of opportunities. He looked more confident. He looks like he's gaining the confidence back. And for me, it was one of his best games this season. He got 3 shots on net, 2 scoring chances. He got a breakaway. He was intense, and he looked confident, making some good passes, taking some shots. At one point, he tried to make a pass to Josh Anderson instead of taking the shot, but it's just like a rookie trying to get friends with the vets, like making an extra pass to the veteran to get his respect is just normal. Every rookie does it. But yeah, overall, one of his best games this season, and definitely the best game of Juraj Slafkovsky we've seen in a while. So if he can continue to progress like that, get the confidence out of the coaching staff, that would be amazing. That's what we want coming from Juraj Slafkovsky. Yeah, 3 shots on net, 2 block shots. He only got 1 giveaway. Pretty good game overall for Juraj Slafkovsky. It was a -1. Yeah, one of his best game of this season. Could have easily scored a goal if he got a little bit more luck. Yeah, Joel Armia, Jake Evans were the 2 best players on the Habs tonight. Jake Evans was absolutely everywhere. Yeah, he was intense, making big hits, good on the PK, blocking shots. He was one of the only players that was actually playing with his heart out. And yeah, he looked a bit pissed off about what his teammates were doing. He was just like, "Come on, boys, let's put our heart into it." People in the stands paid to watch us play, paid hundreds of dollars to watch us play, and we're not giving any effort. And Jake Evans looked a bit pissed off about that. He got a fight. Jake Evans was one of the most entertaining player on the ice tonight on both teams. Jake Evans, I respect that guy, and I hope he's going to be a part of the Canadiens for the future, because when the Habs are going to be competitive, you want a guy like Jake Evans on your bottom six. And when you're in the playoffs, you need a guy like Jake Evans on your bottom six. And he's only going to get better as he's going to get more experience. He's going to be a guy that's going to be even better in his 30s. So definitely Jake Evans is a keeper for me for the Montreal Canadiens. Jonathan Kovacevic was one of the best defensemen for the Canadiens tonight. I'm not even gonna lie, man. The defense wins were like Savard and Edmondson. Edmondson looks rusty. I doubt that. I expect him to be playing with an injury right now. He looks a bit like slow as hell. He's slow like when he's healthy, but right now it's even worse. Kovacevic for me was the best defenseman for the Canadiens tonight, and when Kovacevic is your best defenseman in a game, that's not a good sign. Pezzetta is useless, let's be honest. I'd recall Ilanen or Pitlick instead of him if I was the Canadiens. Useless. Pezzetta is not caliber. He's not an NHLer, in my opinion. Kirby Duck, Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield, they tried their best. They did not have a bad game. They just got dominated by Yanni Gourde's line. That's simply it. The Seattle Kraken is one of the best team in OA games in the National Hockey League. They're one of the best teams overall in the National Hockey League. They play a perfect system, and the players put the intensity to it. So it was a difficult game for the Canadiens. I've said it in my video earlier today that it was going to be a difficult game. So the Seattle Kraken just played a better game than the Canadiens. They shut down the best player, and that's just why the Canadiens lost. They did not play a bad game overall. They just weren't good enough to beat the Seattle Kraken. That's pretty much it. Mike Hoffman only played 8 minutes. He got 2 opportunities, missed his shot both times. Really rough seeing Mike Hoffman out there. One of the worst signings for Mark Bergevin from back in his era. Dvorak. He was pretty bad in the face-off circle tonight. I know it's one of his X factors. He's good on face-offs, but every time the Habs had a face-off on a power play, you put Dvorak on the power play for him to win the face-off. I don't think he won one face-off on a power play tonight. That was kind of useless to have him there. Caulfield missed a lot of opportunities because of easily have scored 2 goals. It happens sometimes. The puck just doesn't want to go in the net. Martin Jones made a couple of big saves. One on Nick Suzuki at the end of the third period by an amazing pass of Cole Caulfield. One on Slafkovsky on a breakaway. So yeah, Martin Jones was solid. Seattle Kraken played an overall better game than the Canadiens. I can guarantee you that if the Canadiens played that game against another team, like the Coyotes, the Flyers, the Senators, or a team like that, they probably would have ended up winning that game. But against the Seattle Kraken, who are one of the best teams defensively and offensively in the neutral zone, you can't win playing like that. But overall, it was not their worst game of the year. Like the entire month of December, for the most part, they played some worse games than tonight. They just got shut down pretty good by the Seattle Kraken. So yeah, next game is going to be in 3 days. It's the return of PK Subban at the Bell Center. They're playing against the Nashville Predators. I hope they bounce back from their last game against the Predators where they got flipped like a coin. I hope that they will give out a good performance for PK Subban, who's going to have an homage, quick ceremony before the game. So it's going to be interesting watching. That's for sure. And yeah, I do not think the Canadiens are going to win, but if they can at least compete in that game, that would be a W. So yeah, let me know what you guys all thought about that game. Let me know what you guys think about what I said. It's been your boy Tropical Habs, and I'll see y'all later for another video. Have a good night. Have a nice rest of your day, and bye-bye.